Hey everyone, Brickhouse here with another video, and there's a little rumor going around that Kathleen Kennedy, and this comes as no surprise, wanted to cut Marion Ravenwood from Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. I found this rather interesting because going back, Marion was an integral part of Raiders of the Lost Ark. Now, she wasn't in Temple of Doom because Temple of Doom was a prequel taking place, I think it was 6 years prior to Raiders of the Lost Ark. And she wasn't in The Last Crusade. Of course, that story centered around Indy and his father, Henry. But she was integral in Crystal Skull. In fact, most of us who saw Crystal Skull, and granted it wasn't the greatest Indiana Jones film, but it was nice the fact that they rounded out the story with Indy and Marion getting married and going off into the sunset happily ever after. And of course, now we have Dial of Destiny with Phoebe Waller-Bridge, the insufferable Phoebe Waller-Bridge. I think she's more insufferable than Brie Larson was in the Marvels, or Captain Marvel. But here we go. A new rumor claims that Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy was behind a decision to jettison Marion Ravenwood from much of the Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny script. New rumor comes from scooper WDW Pro. WDW Pro relayed that one of his sources informed him that Marion and Indy were together for this adventure again in the Spielberg scripts that were put together, and that when James Mangold came in, he was heavily influenced by Kathleen Kennedy to drop Marion and switch to a younger woman who would be able to essentially act as the new lead, then have Harrison Ford played the part of a broken kind of Indiana Jones. So in true fashion, we emasculate Indiana Jones just like we did Han Solo, just like we did Luke Skywalker. Is anyone surprised at this rumor? I'm not. The scooper then adds, in all fairness, I'm told that Harrison Ford was keen on that because he wanted to have a more hefty role in terms of pushing his acting abilities with Indiana Jones. He did not want to play the same Indy for a fifth time. Okay. The rumor comes on the heels of actress Karen Allen speaking to Variety and relaying that her character had a much larger role in the film Steven Spielberg was planning on making before he stepped away from the film in 2020. She said, I think because the last time you see Indy and Marion, they've gotten married. I don't know that. I don't know that I thought we'd pick up from where we left off, but I did always imagine that it would be a story with Indy and Marion going forward, as it should have been. Spielberg's script, I can honestly say, would have been much better than what they put out as a fifth Indiana Jones movie. When Steven was going to direct a film, I think the scripts were more focused on an Indy Marion story. But when Steven stepped aside and James came in, he started fresh with new writers, and they just went in the direction they went in. Allen continued. Yeah, because he got a little bit of a shove from Kathleen Kennedy, who has her hands all over this movie, just like the Disney Star Wars trilogy. They were going to tell a different story, Allen asserted. That's not to say that I had ever read the script that Steven was working on, because I hadn't. But I just knew from conversations that we'd had that the ongoing story had involved Marion in a much bigger way than the story that they ended up with. When asked if she'd be interested in returning to the role of Marion again, Allen answered, absolutely. I don't necessarily think that is something that's going to happen, but it would be delightful to play her again. I mean, I feel like I didn't really have the opportunity in this film to take her into this later part of her life. It would be incredible to be able to explore who she is and who she's become. I don't know, she said. They're so interwoven with each other. I can't imagine someone created a film that revolved around Marion without Indy. But never say never. It could always happen. So I'll leave it up to you guys out there in the universe. What do you think? Do you think the story would have been better if we would have had an Indy Marion adventure after being married than the crap that we got here? Comment down below. Tell me what you think. And while you're at it, please take the time to smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed. Hit the notification bell to get notified when my content becomes available here on YouTube. You can also catch me on Rumble and on Odyssey. And as always, a thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you later.